This is a Sandy Boy Productions podcast.
Welcome to Finish Lines and Milestones, a podcast for everyday runners. I'm your host, Allie Bretnacher, and if you run, you're a runner, and every runner has a story. Join me each week as I share these stories and we celebrate finish lines and milestones together. And while we also grieve finish lines postponed. So if you're not already aware, the 2026 Carmel Marathon is now postponed to Sunday, May 31st. It was supposed to take place on Saturday, April 18th, and due to severe weather forecasted, it is now being moved. So if you didn't get a participant email, I'll read you the first section of it. This isn't the race week email we wanted to send, but for the safety of runners, volunteers, city officials, and our staff is the top priority. We've been given multiple reports, including from the National Weather Service, that indicate the strong possibility of dangerous storms on Saturday, including the possibility of lightning, hail, and tornado-inducing conditions. We waited as long as we could to make this call, hoping the forecast would improve, but we also wanted to give enough notice that everyone can adjust their travel plans as needed. We've had a lot of questions about pushing the event back a day to Sunday, and unfortunately, this isn't an option for a number of reasons. It then goes on to give a few options for current participants to defer or run virtually, so look into that if you are a participant. But I got this notice a few minutes before my coach Rachel and I jumped on this call. I'm a vendor. I had a booth getting ready. I've been hustling to get my booth ready. Also was planning a 20-mile cheer station, which I was supposed to do last year as well. And in case you didn't know this, the Carmel Marathon was actually canceled last year due to severe weather. It took out the start-finish line in the morning, and Carmel had to make that call that same day, which was really tough because people were in from all over the country and just awful. All of it's terrible. And I feel horrible for all the runners, obviously, but also for Jay and Katie Druba, who work around the year to make this event happen. And this event is outstanding. This would have been my 9th Carmel half marathon. Might still be. It is now scheduled the day after my first ultra marathon. That's right. I am signed up now to run the full Mo 50K with my coach, Rachel Sinders, my friends Becky and Renee. But this is just really hard to go through this. Again, it feels like such a tough blow, but in years past, we've had a great race. It's an outstanding race. Mother Nature will do what it does. And we've experienced at least 3 seasons in the last week. So it's not surprising, but it is kind of surprising that, these odds were not in our favor. So I'm just so sorry to everybody involved. It is such a hard thing to go through. And you'll hear me express these emotions as you listen to this month's episode of Catching Up with Coach, where I talk to my coach, Rachel Sinders, about my own training and everything else that's going on kind of within the Rachel Michelle running community. And so given the timing of Carmel, that's what we spent a majority of the time talking about, and just how a coach will then help athletes adjust their training to then, perhaps go to a different marathon or do the marathon that's now a month later, and how you figure out how to ramp back up and taper again and those kinds of things. So this will be an interesting, somewhat unfiltered episode, which they kind of are, because the purpose is really to give you a sense of what it's like to have a coach and my relationship with mine. So here you go. Here's the episode. All right. So we are here catching up with Coach. About 5 minutes before we got on here, maybe even less, we got word that the Carmel Marathon will be postponed due to severe weather threats to May 31st. And Rachel and I are just both absorbing that information.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting our reaction here in real time, because just as I was logging on to record this, I saw the email, and now my mind's just going to all the things that this impacts. So many people.
God.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around it. I know they got burned so bad last year with the storms that occurred the morning of and had to make the tough call to cancel. So I'm sure that is back of mind. We do not want that to happen again. People are never going to trust coming here if that is an issue. And right now, I've been checking the weather like crazy. I'm sure everyone.
Me too. Every 3 minutes.
And mine was 80% thunderstorm, and it's been pretty steady at that. Usually if it's 40, you're that might not happen, but for a couple of days it's been at 80, and so that makes me think I
need a new weather app, I think, because mine, when I was checking yesterday, didn't say storms. It just said rain.
You need a new weather app.
Like literally it just has rain. Even now it says 80%, but there's no lightning bolt.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the-
no, on
what the
WeatherBug
hell?
that I use,
Yeah.
it got the lightning bolt.
Right. So I lied to somebody else who I was messaging with yesterday. I was like, I don't think it's storms. It's just going to be windy and rainy, which is also going to suck.
yeah,
But, I was thinking about talking to you about like, how do you mentally prepare for shitty weather? But
well,
now,
that's like I had some notes here of things to
Yeah.
talk about because as of Monday, I started talking with a bunch of my athletes that are racing and coming up with race strategy plans, which is always a challenge for a race that the weather is not looking ideal because it's like, you train and you have in the back of your mind what you're working towards. And then
Yep.
you need to make adjustments. The reality is if the weather is not perfect, you're going to have to adjust. It's
Yep.
one of those things we can't control.
right.
I was just really working through like, how do we adjust? And then I wanted to kind of talk about too, like one of my athletes was like, he asked a really good question. He said, he did Carmel 2 years ago. It was his first marathon. So he's like, how do I not go into Carmel this weekend comparing my finish time from 2 years ago and wanting like to be better and being disappointed if he's not better? And I'm like,
Right.
well, that's so hard because you cannot compare the weather. They're 2 different days. 2 years ago, I even went and looked back. It was like great. It was like 45, and sunny, and a good day. So we kind of went down a path of talking about like the process goals versus outcome goals, which I think is a really good conversation to have with anyone. A lot of people weigh too much on the outcome goals and think like, well, my finish time, that means if I hit the time I want, I had a good day. If I didn't hit it, it was a bad day. But there's really
Right.
so much more that goes into it. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We can kind of save that topic for a different day because now we're not having any racing going on this weekend. So
Yeah. So I was just taking a look at my race results spreadsheet. So this was going to be my 9th. Oh, and I just realized now I won't run my 70th half marathon on my dad's 70th birthday. That's sad.
yeah, that was
Um,
your big. That is. See, look at all these things that it just like trickles down and impacts. Like
Okay. So
little things.
where are we running a half marathon when it's not raining? Like we'll just go on the Monon or something.
Mhm. Well, it's still.
Anyway.
I mean, you still to talk about so many things to talk about now.
Anyway,
because you
yeah,
still
what-
need to get your long run in.
Right. Well, okay. So this was going to be my 9th half at Carmel. And so I just wanted to
Okay.
say to people who might be listening, who are like, what the heck is up with this weather? Like, I'm never
Mhm.
coming to Carmel. Well, I've done it 8 times. And most of the time, it's been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Like, sure,
yeah.
we've had snow because it's Indiana. But these 2 years are just an anomaly. And also, I have to just say that Jay and Katie Druba, they are such wonderful people. And I know that Jay has probably been up every night since the weather's been in the 10-day forecast. Hell, he's probably been looking at it even further in advance.
Mhm.
But I know that this is so hard on them since they just recently took over this race. And so I just feel for them. I feel for the runners too a lot, but man, when it's something you work for all year, it's just hard on everyone.
It is.
Man.
Yeah, I really feel for them because that is like such a tough call to make, and everyone's going to have an opinion about it, whether they
Yeah.
agree with the decision or not. But at the end of the day, it's their decision to make, and I'm sure that they heavily weighed the pros and cons and decided
Oh yeah.
what the best course of action was. I'm just glad that there is an opportunity to reschedule this year.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it feels like they have to do it now versus morning of so that they can put that plan into action as soon as
Yes.
possible.
Mhm.
Because for people who might be like, well, why don't we just wait and see how the weather is? And for people who are going to be pissed off if we don't get the severe storms, you know, it
Mhm. And this way, people can cancel their travel plans that are coming.
Correct.
There's so many that come from out of
Yes.
town to this. So
right. And they
I
won't
don't-
be here yet, you know,
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't know if we said, but it is rescheduled till May 31st. I don't know if we
Right,
said
correct.
that at the beginning. That's the news.
I can't remember when we were recording or when we were just talking.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it is
May 31st.
about a month different. And so, yeah, I mean, how are you going to talk to your athletes who are doing, especially the marathon? Like,
I
how
know.
do you then, you're tapering and now you have to ramp up, or do you
Yeah,
like,
it's almost like I just texted. I have a 2:00 call with an athlete, and I texted him, and I was like, "How about we still have our call so we can just talk about next steps
yeah.
and stuff,
And also
and
so he
talk
can
through
vent
this."
because it's
yeah,
going to be painful.
yeah, and
It's painful.
he was training for the marathon, so it's hard.
Who did you talk to before we hit record? Was that Justin?
No, it was
Does
Jay.
he know?
I texted Justin. He's in meetings, so I haven't called him. But
Justin
no,
is
it was
Rachel's husband, by the way, who is planning to run the marathon.
Yes, he's so funny because when the weather was looking bad, he was like, I might just do the half. Like he's like that's not fun to run in. And he just does it for fun. Like he doesn't care about his times. He just does it because it forces him to get outside and get in shape. And he's like, I'm not putting myself through that if it's going to be miserable. So,
right. Well,
now I'm sure he'll do it on May 31st since he's been training. But no, it was Jake calling because Jake Hostetler from Athletic Annex. He had just sent out a message to everyone because they've been so busy preparing for the expo. Because Athletic Annex is putting together all the merch and then they have people set up. So he had just sent out a Slack message about plans. So I called him right away and was like,
Rachel,
oh my gosh.
Do you know what I just realized? This is now the day after the full mow.
Yes, it is. I was going to tell you that. Yeah. So I wonder when the expo is going to be.
Oh my God, what a nightmare this is now. I mean, obviously little things for me compared to what others are going through. I don't want to, but I'm processing this.
And we're processing this in real time. Like,
yeah.
Okay, you kind of just led to our next topic that we're doing the full mow.
Okay, announcement, breaking news. Breaking news, just in the midst of this. I know we've been trying to figure out how to tell people. I did slide it into a recent podcast episode, which a couple people picked up on.
Okay.
And
was it recent? I don't think I even noticed.
Yeah, and
myself.
now I know who listens and who doesn't. I'm not giving you a hard time, but it's nice when people reach out and they're like, oh, did you just say that you registered for the full mow? I'm like, good job. You listened to my podcast. But yeah, I kind of snuck it in because I was like, well, it was Tammy Morante's episode.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I'm going to talk to her about it because she's like, the queen of ultras around here. And
you did mention it. I remember now.
But I barely did. It was like such in passing. And so, Lindsay Welty texted me and was like, did you just say that you registered for the full mow? And for people who have no idea what it is, it's a 50K here in Indianapolis. It goes all the way from the north side in Sheridan all the way downtown Indianapolis to the finish. And it's on our paved rail trail, the Monon Trail. So anyway, So now that's on May 30th. The Carmel Marathon is rescheduled to May 31st.
So here's the big question. When's the expo going to be? What if it's on Saturday, the day of the full mow?
100% will be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Absolutely will be. Yeah. So now,
right.
I don't know what to do. Jay is so wonderful. He'll work with me on whatever I need.
We're all these things that we're thinking about, I'm sure we'll get all worked out.
Right. Yeah.
Just so many things to think about.
Right. So and so this will be our first ultra marathon. We are also signed up with two of our friends, Renee Sager and Becky Polans. And so shoot.
So it kind of all started several weeks ago. You were like, hey, maybe we should do the full mow together. And I was like, yeah, if you do it, I do it and stuff. And then it was weeks that we didn't talk about it. Like I got through Tokyo. After Tokyo, I was like, oh, I guess she decided not to. I'm not going to bring it up. And then you were like, hey, so I think I want to do the full mow now. And then it took me 36 hours. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I know. It didn't take much prodding. I was like, come on.
No.
Well, part of what put me over the edge is, and I won't speak in detail, but I've just had some shit going on in my personal life. And so I need this. Running is so important for me to work through stuff. And so having an opportunity to run with three of my most favorite running friends, I'm just so pumped. And Ashley Haynes will be there too. She's helping Lindsay Welty pace. And so she said maybe she would spend some time with us as well. So it's just going to be the most fun.
Beyond the people you mentioned just now, there's a lot of others that we know and many that I train. So it'll be.
Yeah, it will be. But so it'll just be interesting to see, how runners adjust, who's still able to come for Carmel. I mean, I just can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I remember getting the message when it was canceled last year and just being like in complete shock.
Yeah.
And I feel that right now where you're like, no, this cannot be happening again. And people are, I've talked to people about, surely that can't happen. I'm like, yeah, no,
it is. I mean, I've said that to so many of my runners. I'm like, way back when they decided to run Carmel, like, what are the chances of us having a bad day 2 years in a row? So slim. But like you said, it's such a fluke because Carmel has been such a great race for me too. Like I've
Love it.
I should count up how many I've done, but it's a good amount between the half and I've done the full twice. It's my PR. It's a great race.
I mean, yeah. And it's just, I can't say enough good things about it. It's like,
I know. I don't want people to not have it on their
well,
mind to come here. In the
people who
future.
know. And you know what? Fine. The race sells out. So,
Yeah,
they're not hurting for
it
people to
does.
come.
It
That's for
does.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, it just feels like, man, yeah. And geez.
Yeah, so
Woof.
I help out Jay and organize the Pacers for the half
Yes.
and the full. So he was like, you need to get in touch with all of them now because I would say at least half or more fly in from out of town.
Man, yeah. Christine from Anderson's Pure Fuel was coming in town. I was so excited to meet her for the first time.
So yeah, I've been down this road before with 2020 and having races postponed. And then I was coaching then too. And it was like, everything got postponed. How do we adjust? Oh, then everything got canceled. How do we adjust? And yeah, I mean, I guess not like first rodeo here.
Well, if anything, I said this last year, if anything, that time helped us adapt to this kind of
Yeah,
unforeseen
that's exactly.
change. But I think a lot of us have been like, well, that's behind us. We don't have to worry about
Right? Like we're not
things
doing that
canceling.
again.
Yeah. I know I'm going to think of so many other things after we stop recording too, like in people I've talked to who are doing the race, or got a woman from Lindsay Hines, our podcast network, Sandy Boy Productions, Whitney Hines, the Mother Runners podcast. She's coming in town for the race, right? So now she's not going to be able to do it. I wonder if people did this instead of Boston in in some capacity. Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean,
I just saw Chrissy D at Athletic Annex, and
I just
she's
texted
like,
her.
"Oh, yeah, you did."
Yeah.
I didn't text her. Yeah, I was texting with Eileen because she was supposed to run. She goes, "Say that again." The timing is just wild that we were literally just jumping on. And now you get to go and talk to Jacob about it too. I wonder how many athletes he has running.
A bunch. I'm sure
Tons.
he's so busy this week.
And Jacob is from Tempo Sports Rehab. He is your PT.
He is.
So
And I have a 1:00 appointment with him because as we are ramping up here for the full bow, my body needs a little TLC. I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah.
So I sent him a message and asked if he had anything to say for me. And thankfully he did.
Yeah, good. So we also need, like you said, to rethink my long run this weekend.
Yes.
Now I'm like, well, I have all day Friday available.
Yeah. So what about doing it Friday? Like I'm
Yeah.
even going to take a look and I might have you do more than 13.
You should. Yeah. Because I need to.
Because I
do
was
more.
going to do 15. I was going to do the half on Saturday and then keep going and make it 15. So maybe I'll run Friday as well.
We could all run together.
Yeah.
I'm going to text Renee and Becky.
Because Saturday, I don't want to run Saturday if it's going to be bad weather.
Right. Well, and we start soccer, of course, on Saturday, which now.
So your Saturday mornings are crazy.
Well, yeah. Well, yes. But also, I was going to miss both of my girls' first soccer games, which is
But
gonna
now
suck.
they might be canceled. So
I know. So it's like, okay.
I just I mean, I really hope we get the bad weather that's predicted. I really hope. Like, if we don't, I mean, people would just be like so mad,
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
like,
but you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
I know.
There's just
I
nothing,
think that
nothing worse
they
than
had
these
to
kind
make
of decisions.
Yeah, so we'll figure out our Friday run and hopefully we can get some company for that too. And then, yeah, you need to find I guess you could make the mini your 70th half.
Yes, it will be. I mean, I'm not going to run any more half marathons.
There's nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a couple days before my mom's 70th birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, she turns 70 on May 6th. So it's just funny. I'll just run my 70th in between their birthdays.
Yeah.
Doesn't have as
So
nice of a
it's
ring
an
to it.
honor. It's an honor of both of them because your
Yeah,
mom
you know
is
what?
the one that got you into running, and then your
This
dad
actually
is
works
the
out
one that
great.
you run with more. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not
I
even
don't-
looking
yeah.
at my phone because I keep getting messages.
Right. I need to not, because I was like, should I text so-and-so? Should I text? And I'm like, no, it's going to come out. I also want to honor, the sensitivity of this situation. And I don't know if it's better for somebody to hear it from me. Right.
Yeah. So maybe we should wait to I was hoping you could put this episode out today, but I think
I'm going to wait. I'll wait.
Wait until he
that
makes.
email-
I'm assuming he's going to send the email today. So then wait
Yes.
till after that.
I will, absolutely. Because
Okay.
I do not want people to hear this from me. It should come from the race for sure.
Yeah.
So, God. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
So yeah, we know Carmel
yeah.
this weekend.
Carmel. Wow. Such a bummer.
I just feel for everyone that's
Everybody.
trying so hard. And
I'm just going to repost that video I made last year of telling all the Carmel people how sorry I was about how it was canceled. And I was so excited to do my spectating. I just, it's a weight off too, because I have so much going on that it'll be kind of nice to be able to push it off, but I would never wish this on anybody.
No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah. So full mo the day before the Carmel Marathon. Cool. Who knows what we're going to do with that? Probably won't run
Crazy busy
Carmel.
weekend.
Yeah. Maybe we could do the 5K as a taper.
No,
or like a shakeout.
Wrong way. Full mo's first, then Carmel.
Oh, it's a recovery run?
I'm going to be lucky if I'm like moving. Like I'm going to be hobbling around.
Is I'm going to buy these like chairs. What are they called? Like that you can lay in, you know? And we're going to set up the 20-mile cheer station, except it's just going to be me laying with a bullhorn.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely be out spectating for that for sure.
Yeah. Cause we're in town. Don't have any plans except for the, just my first ultra marathon the day before. Wild. I wonder if TJ Daly knows. Cause he's obviously Christy now knows. So I'm sure TJ does. Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
Because that's actually interesting to think about, because I know a lot of people that were planning to do Carmel Marathon as like a training run for the full mo. So now, or they were even going to race Carmel and then just have fun at full mo.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what that does for registration on both ends.
For all the people I know. Yeah, or people who now could do Carmel. I don't know. Who knows? There's, I wonder, there's so many things to think through. I had this woman, I can't remember if I said this while we were recording or who I said this to, but I had a woman who I sent out an email reminding people to pick up their athlete bouquet orders at my booth. And one woman replied and said she deferred because of the weather. And I thought, oh no, I told this to Christy. I said, what if, I was like, come on, it's going to be fine.
Here she was. She was on top of it,
she was
apparently.
Super smart. She's got the weather bug app and I do not. So I need to, usually I'm pretty good about weather stuff and having a good weather app. And I've just been in a gap.
Weatherbug is where it's at. Okay. Look at the hourly on Weatherbug, and it's great.
All right. Okay.
Because I love weather.
I'll do it.
I
do too, which is kind of weird that I'm in this place where I'm using like the standard app on my phone. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's like, come on, Apple. Yeah. So, okay.
So next, we have the Mini coming up, which will be a really fun weekend now to focus on.
That's true because our next month won't come out until after the Mini.
Correct. So do you want to talk a little bit about the Friday night event and stuff?
Would love to.
That you're planning?
Yeah. Yes. So I am planning a live podcast event with Lindsay Hine, who is the founder of Sandy Boy Productions, my podcast network that I'm a part of, and the host of the I'll Have Another podcast with Lindsay Hine. We have Emma Grace Hurley.
So exciting.
Finally got her USATF, her first place. I was so excited for her out at Cherry Blossom, 10-miler. So she will be one of our guests. We are hoping to nail down one or two others, but we are waiting for the final list of people who are competing. It will be the USATF 5K championships for anybody who doesn't know. So there'll be some others in town for that, and Emma Grace is running that. And we unfortunately had to work around schedules of elite athletes and had to bump up the timing of our event. So instead of it being like a Friday night or evening, it is now at 3:30. Lindsay and I were joking. I was like, if people don't have a job where they can take off on 3 p.m. on a Friday, like that sucks. That sucks. I mean, it sucks, but it's not that, if you work remote or it's a Friday. I just feel like people, if they want to come,
I think
can make
enough people will be flexible. And given that the Mini's the next day, I know a lot of people like maybe take off work early that day to get down and get their packet and just so I think it'll work out fine.
So there will be, I'll link in the show notes to the tickets, but we'll have goodie bags. We'll have a lot of carbs. We'll have athletic brewing and floral there for beverages. And it's going to be so much fun. It's my favorite thing is
these events are always so fun.
Fun.
Is this the third time?
Third.
Yeah.
Third time.
And they've all been so great. And
thank you.
Bottleworks does such a good job hosting.
It's a wonderful
being our host location.
venue.
And
Yes. And then between now and then too, a big giveaway will be announced.
Okay.
So it'll include Bottleworks hotel stay. It'll include Sweat House. It'll include 3 sessions at Sweat House, which I just visited this week and it's unreal, Rachel. And then what else is in there? An athlete bouquet. We're trying to get an Amazfit watch. So it'll be a great giveaway. It'll have entries to the mini too for people who may not be registered, or I wonder if they'll refund somebody who already is. Anyway, it's going to be great. So I'm super pumped for that. And then, yeah, obviously the mini, we're pushing with Ainsley's Angels again. Now that the event is moved up, I actually might get to go to the dinner for the first time. So they have a dinner, Ainsley's Angels does.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I
Yeah.
obviously got those emails as well, and I have
Yes.
never done it before either. But
It's wonderful because then you get to meet your rider and the family the night before instead of just at the race. So I got to do that when I was in DC for Marine Corps, and it was great. So hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, so register for the event. Yeah,
the 50th running of the Indy
the
Mini,
50th running.
which is a huge deal. That's just incredible that it's been going on for 50 years, and it's such a good race.
That's a perfect segue too. I got to interview a guy yesterday, Mike Vollmer, who has done every single one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he'll be my episode come Friday, this Friday.
That's so fun. How old is he now?
76.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. Last year it took him 4.5 hours.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's still doing
And he
it.
feels better about it this year. He's like, I do not want to do that again. So it's just so inspiring. And so 50 years is going to be a huge deal for our city, and it'll just be so fun. And I just pray to the weather gods, like, please be nice.
Yeah. We've been lucky
nice
we've been pretty lucky at the Mini the last several years overall for being a May date and everything. It's not been too bad, too hot.
Yeah, the 10 miler last Saturday, April 11th was perfect weather. Just absolutely perfect. So God, it makes me so mad what a difference a week makes, man.
It does. Indiana. Or even a day. It's craziness.
Seriously.
Yeah, because
like said,
even the weather, I've been looking at it for Carmel, and Sunday is like great, and like
really windy,
by Monday it's like 40 in the morning and great.
Stupid.
So it's just crazy. It's so up and down living here.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm. We're just along for the ride.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, people will, if they follow us on social media, will get a sense of what we end up doing for a long run this weekend and instead of Carmel. And I was trying to think about what I should send my dad for his actual birthday. He's in Florida. Lucky him. But yeah, again, so sorry to everybody who is
absolutely
feeling these emotions that we've kind of felt, and then some, because you and I obviously aren't signed up to run the marathon, but have other, your husband is, and I had a booth that I was preparing for. I've literally been busting my ass to get all my stuff ready.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which is nothing compared.
All that work will be done then for May, and you won't have to worry about it. No, my head's like spinning right now thinking about like all my athletes and how are we going to rework this and what are we going to do, but it'll all work out. It seems like overwhelming right now, and it seems like too much and why it's happening, but it really will.
Yeah.
Just because I mentioned the COVID thing, like looking back on 2020, like that's when I was supposed to run my first Boston, and I was like fully trained every mid-March. So I think I had one more 20 left to do, and I was going to be tapering when we got the news. So I've been there, and it sucks so bad, but like life goes on, and it'll be okay. And there's many more races. You get to do this. Like we choose to do this for fun. So just continue to be grateful that we have these opportunities, and they made the decision to keep everyone safe. So
that's also true. It's like, And I also should shout out Carly Stewart, who had to back out of Boston.
Yes.
Her heart is broken. My heart breaks with her.
Mine too. Oh, gosh. Just anyone that gets to that point and hers isn't even a running related injury to think too. It's heartbreaking when something like that happens at the last minute. And it's just, you feel like that's so heavy. But
well, hopefully come May when we get together again, we'll have a bunch of good stuff to talk about instead of being like, oh my gosh, look what just happened. This is so crazy.
We'll have the mini to talk about, and we'll be looking forward to Carmel at that point again, and lots of exciting things on the horizon.
Oh my God.
Yep. Full mo.
So will you, when we get off this, will you send a note to all your athletes that are running as well? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let them all know. I don't think he sent out a message yet.
I have my inbox open.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I haven't gotten a message because I'm signed up for Carmel, so I would get the generic
Oh
message.
yeah.
he's
Oh, I
gonna
guess that would be
send
in my
out.
personal inbox, but
Yeah, I have my personal open and I haven't gotten it.
So
I had emailed all the Pacers, so I'm getting a bunch of replies there too.
oh my gosh. Read a couple of them before you have to go.
Well, I won't say
You don't have to
names.
name names. Yeah.
One person just said thank you.
No exclamation point? A period? Or
No.
just thank you.
This one guy, I'm so sorry. He's not going to be available May 31st.
Okay, well that's fine.
This guy, doesn't it feel like this race is snake bit? Does that mean
Sure
like
does.
bad luck? It must be
I've
a
never
sign
heard
for
that term
bad
in my
luck. Me
life.
either, but he was planning to pace last year as well. So this is his second rodeo
Cool.
or
Third
both.
time's a charm.
Yeah. So yeah, no like exclamation points or bad words. So
That's
hopefully
surprising.
everyone understanding.
Yeah. Well, of course the initial shock and reaction is different once you
Yes, once
absorb
it sinks
but
in. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
well, go. I'll let you go get to Jacob. We could talk about this forever,
Yes,
but
we could.
I hope people enjoy this rambling, chaotic episode of us. But this is what happens when you have a coach and things change. Like, this is why you have a coach too.
This
They
is
help
why,
adjust.
because here I am. I'm going to spend extra time this week, which I want to. I want to make sure we make this right, and I want to make sure everyone trains properly if they want to continue on and do it on May 31st, and that we work around.
Now I'm going to go Google what
everything.
other marathons are around town. Because I mean, what is it? Glass City was one what people went to last year.
A lot of people went to Glass City. Flying Pig is the same weekend as Carmel, which people did.
Or at Mini, the Mini.
Sorry. Flying Pig is the
I know
same
what you
weekend as the Mini, which I had an athlete do that last year instead of Carmel. Yeah, Glass City is soon here. Maybe next week already?
Right. So
maybe
so
some people will go do that because you're ready in your taper.
Right. The idea of like ramping-ish and then tapering seems really tough, but
I'm glad for my athletes and everyone that they told us today, because everyone was like, I'm starting my carb load today, like 500 grams of carbs. So at least now, like, hold off on the carbs.
Or just eat them for your emotional.
Turn it into like candy and stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this.
All right.
Yep. All right. Well,
thanks for listening. Yep. Okay.
Thanks for listening. Happy running, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Well, it's hard to enjoy this week's episode since the topic was such a bummer, but if you enjoyed this episode, go to athletebouquets.com, sign up for weekly emails from Finish Lines and Milestones. If you already get those, please be sure to share, rate, and review this podcast. If you made it this far, I'm going to read you a text that Rachel got from one of the Pacers, who will not name names. Good afternoon, Rachel. I understand the challenge faced regarding the weather this weekend. Canceling this early, however, is a mistake. People who have the ability to adjust their travel plans will still be able to adjust them if canceled on Friday. People who are flying in can't adjust them even if you've had it canceled 2 days ago. Canceling today serves no one. I implore you to, quote, uncancel, quote, and make the decision Friday. Forecasts mostly have storms hitting PM Saturday. If you have to cancel still, making the choice Friday is more logical. Whoever was flying in is still going to be flying in. Hotels are booked and rental cars paid for. Thank you for your consideration. Signed, somebody who clearly has never been in race planning. So as you have some similar thoughts to that, it's fine. It's okay to have really angry, disappointed, sad thoughts about this because it's really hard, especially when you're still trying to process it. But I just implore you to maybe give yourself 24 hours before you reach out to the organizers, before you share things that you can't take back on social media, because a lot of this is so hard and it is just running. And I know it's a big deal. Shoot, it's my whole life pretty much. But we will run again. We will have this race again. And so whatever your plans are now, I wish you the best. And I will talk to you on Friday for this week's regularly scheduled episode with Mike Vollmer, who's run the Indy Mini 50 times, or it'll be 50 times this year. So thanks for listening. Bye.